Hey there, Gemini, and welcome to your December 2016 reading. Great to see everybody. Congratulations on getting through the year. And as we enter this last month of the year, I'm really curious to see how everything's wrapping up for you, and we'll do a little bit of a peek and see what 2017 might be bringing through, although January is when we're going to really take a look at that. First things first, though, actually I forgot to mention this. If you didn't know this already, you can use this for your sun sign, for your rising, and for your moon. Whenever I don't mention it, I get a lot of questions, so I try to add that to each video. All right, now into the channeled information. For you this month, your message is to be more receptive, to be able to receive. This could be receiving intuition, it could be receiving a gift of money, it could be receiving feedback that you don't want. Whatever it is, your challenge is actually the act of letting it come to you. So sometimes that is just having someone say thank you, and instead of saying, oh, there's nothing, just say you're welcome. Or if they say that you did a great job, or that you're fantastic, or whatever it is, or that you need work, just say I appreciate the feedback, or thank you for sharing that with me. That's really it. Don't fight what is trying to come your way, especially if it's a gift or if it's useful. Okay? Easier said than done, because a lot of us have a hard time, particularly when it's positive feedback, sometimes accepting, believing, or just saying thank you. Because a lot of times that's all the other person wants to hear, is that you received that comment. You did a great job. Oh, thank you. That means a lot. That's all you have to say. Okay? Now let's look at the cards for this month for you. We'll start off with a catalyst. And the catalyst is always advice on how to kick off the month, and it's also advice on maybe learning a little bit more about how to receive or how to be receptive. I'm going to shuffle one more time. For some reason, this card or this deck wants to be shuffled a few times. All right, for you, it's humor. Having a sense of humor, being willing, able, ready to not take yourself so seriously and not take situations so seriously. That's going to open up your, well, not only just your heart, but I think everyone around you will just be in a better mood, and you're able to see things with a more, I guess it adds some clarity. Sometimes when we put too much pressure on things being perfect, or when we think that we're incapable of flaws, then we close down. When you can laugh at yourself, or you can laugh at others in a nice way, not sort of like, it's sort of just being able to not, again, not take things so seriously, then all of a sudden it's the law of detachment comes in and things become easier. All right, so 2 cards throughout right at the center here. And see what else is coming through for you. Okay, so right off the bat, and the order in which these came are sort of, they could have been either way since they both came out, but so I'm going to read them as both potential core issues and blocking issues of one another. So I sense a general need to move forward. I feel like you've been either stuck in a way of thinking or a position for too long, and action is necessary. It really wouldn't matter if that was the center card and the other one was on top of it. What I'm seeing here is, if we take them both, and this one was reversed, it's showing a need to really get out of this state of feeling frozen, of feeling just blocked, and speaking your mind, making a decision over something. So a lot of times, that's the hardest thing to do, is just to say, you know what, I've decided this is what I want. Don't try to, this is not about pleasing other people. This is about you doing what's important in your life. So I hope that helps add clarity to it. For many of you, you may have been spending the last year receiving training, or going back to school, or thinking like, I need to do this to get to the next level. 8 of Pentacles is a card of slow but steady growth, slow but steady accumulation of skills, of knowledge, of power, so that you can then get to a level of expertise. It's an apprentice card. The reversal of this means that some of you may have delayed that, and if you have, then what I see for 2017, but definitely for December, is to start to jumpstart that. So create an opening in your schedule that's going to allow for you to read, to research, to take a class, to somehow do something that is new and mind expanding. The World card is in your recent past, and that's about change, massive change. And this came through for a few signs. It's about possibly a change of location, change of job, just a change of the way you were thinking on an issue, but pretty massive when it comes through. And it could also mean for some of you a release, sort of a release of a project, or release of an idea, an announcement. And so if all of those things are sort of budding up within you, and that's possibly why the center card was the Hanged Man reverse, then it's time to make the announcement and sort of come out with your truth or with your statement and allow it to be heard and seen. All right, and that is your top crowning card here, which says you need to move forward and you need to feel good about it, and don't second guess what other people are thinking. I get a very tentative vibe with this particular King of Swords. So I think one thing that you could do is just speak from the heart if there's something that's difficult to express, and try not to be so, the word bombastic came to mind. So I would say the tone of voice. So rather than talking really loud, or rather than being very sort of sharp in the words, if you can pull it down a couple of notches and try to be friendly, try to engage a little bit more, I think that's going to be very helpful. The Hierophant card here in your near future, and also showing what your best outcome is it's saying that there's a need for you to pull away, because it's reversed, from too much structure. So if you've been sort of dead set on making sure that everything can happen at a certain time, or that the only way to success is to do this, this, and this in a particular order, this card is saying change it up. Change it up and allow for more fluidity in the way that you work. It's a really good month for you to develop ideas. So for those of you that are, even if it's more of a practical sort of career that you're doing, this is when you come up with new processes. So maybe you oversee operations, or you work in data entry, and you come up with a brand new way to save time. Work with this, and this could actually be something that gets you acclaim or notice later. So innovation is really, really good in December for your sign. One thing that could happen for some of you is frustration, as far as sort of wishing that things were happening at a faster pace. There's going to be a few delays towards the first week of the month, and if that happens, what I'd love for you to see is how much progress you've made, and maybe this delay is just cosmic timing. And try not to put yourself in a position where you're focusing on what isn't there. Think of how far you've come. And what I love when I'm looking at the Seven of Pentacles here is I think a lot of you are working to recover when it comes to your finances, to get further along, to feel more comfortable with where you're at. And I see continued growth happening. This is a very fertile card, and it's actually a card of harvesting. So take advantage of the new opportunities that are coming to you. Be grateful and receptive to them, because there may be something that comes along, and either you feel like you're not qualified for it or you're not ready for it. I think it's a great partnership. Looking at love, ending on the Two of Cups is really, really great. What that shows me is that your sort of interpersonal communication and your personal relationships this month are going to go to a level where you can end up being very happy, very satisfied. For work, this means meeting someone that understands your point of view, possibly starting a business with someone that understands your point of view, or at work, maybe a boss or coworker shows themselves to be an advocate that you didn't know that you had in your corner. For love, obviously, it shows that this month it's open to meeting new people, and they may come rushing into your life. And if that's the case, again, even though you may not be looking for love, welcome it, receive it, see what it has to offer you. Even if it only ends up being a friendship or just a great exchange for whatever amount of time it exists, that's a good thing. So let's expand your forecast, and I'm sure we'll get some more insight into all the areas that we look at every month: health, wealth, love, and destiny. We'll start first with health. So let me give this deck a nice shuffle, and we'll see what advice and what insight is coming through. All right, this actually came through for another sign, and I love that there's some consistency with this month. So this Radiance card shows me as far as health is going, you're in a pretty good position this month. It does mean that if you can get outside and be in the sun, please do. That's great. The other thing that it shows me is if we sort of like pull it into some of the seasons that I'm seeing in these cards, weather could have a very big effect on your emotions this month. The first thing that I thought of when I saw this was, particularly for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, a little bit of, what is it? I forget the name, but when you're sort of affected by the seasons, seasonal something disorder. But if you're feeling like it's too dark, it's too rainy, it's too dreary, part of what you can do, and it sounds like an easy fix, but it works, is making sure that the environment around you has a lot of light, that it's really open, that you can see out the window, that it, bring brightness into your environment somehow. And also, if you need to take a trip or take a break, get out of the sort of inclement weather that's around you and try to take a vacation in a warmer place. I feel like that's going to help. You're seeking and needing that. Once you have that, everything's going to go into a great place. All right, let's take a look now at your wealth. Wealth always includes not only sort of like your career opportunities, but it's also just any sort of growth opportunities in your life. So for you, a month to take stock, to watch other people around you and learn from them. This card shows me you've already been doing some apprenticeships, some possibly being a mentee, learning from someone, learning from a mentor. And if that's the case, I feel like you're pretty close to it. This 12 is indicating that you're almost at the end of something, as is the World card. So keep watching. It seems like you've got some good leaders around you and some good opportunities. And if they tap you then and say, all right, now I'm ready for you to take on something new, accept it. And you may get that around the 12th of the month, the 12th to the 15th. There may be some new opportunity that comes. Again, your challenge is to just go for it this month. I think that there is some sort of hesitation. Don't. All right, so let's take a look at your love and relationships this month. So for the relationship front, I see a need or possibly an unavoidable separation with someone. And so if that's happening, try not to look as dramatic as the person on this card. This could also have to do with the Four of Cups that we have here. It's a longing card. And what I see is a happy reunion in the long term. So let's focus on what's coming in the future rather than a brief separation. And for those of you that separate and it's a little bit less amicable, maybe it is a literal sort of let's separate, let's be apart, I see a chance for reconciliation if that's something that you're both interested in. All right, so now finally, let's look at your Destiny card and then we'll review everything. Your Destiny card this month is to be bold. And it basically says, unleash your adventurous side, take risks and be daring. So with it being Destiny, that affects all areas of your life. And so this is a very central card. So I would say when it comes to relationships, don't be afraid to initiate either like asking someone out, or maybe if you're desiring to have more physical contact or more connection with someone, ask for that, because I do see that for some of you, this could be more of a sort of subtle thing where your partner's pulled away from you. This card says initiate contact, try to rekindle the flame if you can. And I do think it will be reciprocated. Sometimes when you're in a relationship for a long time, it's not that you don't love the person, it's just that you get out of the habit of trying to sort of act like you did when you dated, which was wanting to be close, wanting to spend time, wanting to listen. That doesn't mean that the partner still doesn't want it. So surprise them with dinner, with movies, ask them if they want to go out, try something like that. For those of you that are single, this is saying you may need to go and ask this person across the room, hey, how are you doing? Would you like to join me for dinner or something, or whatever? Do something bold that's out of character for you. The worst they're going to say, the worst that'll happen is they'll say no, but you will have tried and you won't sit there and beat yourself up. All right, so, and again, sort of if you don't take yourself too seriously in this, the other person's going to feel at ease when they're around you, and they'll know that there's not all this tension and anxiety or self-doubt built up. All right, so once again, the channeled information this month for you is to be more receptive to receive praise, information, job opportunities. Don't question it, just receive it. Try to approach life with a sense of humor. Be light-hearted about events that are happening around you. Try not to take them all so personally. You can be serious about what you want in life, but you don't have to take every single thing that happens to you as like the end of the world if it's not going the way you want it. It is a month to get out of ruts. That's basically what I see you wanting to do. But I think you need to work on softening communication style this month. It's going to go much better for you. So try not to be too harsh or too critical. Be more open-minded. I think your sign is already very kind when it comes to being able to empathize and understand other people's points of view. But this is saying just soften the blow a little bit if you have to be critical. And this, when it comes to love, means to just be more active. Try to loosen any sort of boundaries that you have on your time, on your deadlines, and let them be more fluid. If you want to move, maybe move to a new state, new city, new location, move into a new relationship. This card is saying it's already happening, don't fight it. Great month to come up with new ideas. Spend some of the time, if the weather's not cooperative, in brainstorming. Try not to get too pulled in by seasonal ups and downs, particularly if you're going through winter. Congrats on what looks like an improvement in a financial situation. And yes, it's a very good time for love, for partnerships, for family. When we expand the forecast, again, any exposure to getting outside is going to be good for you. Getting in the sunlight, particularly if you're in a darker sort of time zone or climate right now, then yes, do that. I know the further north that you are, sometimes the shorter the days are going to get. So if you need to find a way to either be in the light or create light around you, that's going to help. Look around you for your career opportunities. There may be something in the periphery that you're missing. You're going to see something around the middle of the month that's going to help bring clarity. For some of you, your partner or you may be moving away from your partner. There may be a work sort of situation that brings you apart. For others, it's more subtle. For others of you, it's more subtle, and it could just mean that you need to reconnect, be bold, ask for a date night with someone that you've been with for a long time, or go and ask someone out for a date that you've never met. But this is about you making the first move and not waiting for something to come to you. So that's all the information that came through for you this month. I hope it was helpful. As always, it's a pleasure to be able to read for you. I want to say thank you because every month you have a lot of choices, and it's been my honor to be able to help you out this month. So just to know how to stay connected, if you ever want to schedule a reading with me, I offer private readings, and I'll put a link in the corner, and you can kind of check on rates and availability. Also, just to stay connected, an easy way to do that is to subscribe to this channel, but I also have a newsletter, and I'm active on social media, so I'll put a link for that as well. Otherwise, I wish you the absolute best of the holiday season, whatever holidays you celebrate, and a very prosperous new year. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I wish you the best. Sat Nam. Bye-bye. See you in January.